but since I didn't put a video up yesterday, now I'm like 3 days backed up on my backlog of videos. But this is shoulders and calves. This was Thursday, I think. Started out with 3 1/4, the seated calf raises. Not bad. This was a little bit. I probably just should have stayed with 3. The first few reps were pretty good, but then the majority of the rest of these calf raises were pretty much partials. Couldn't really get a full range of motion. So, but we went really heavy, and my calves are actually still sore, by the way. So I noticed when I go heavier and more intense from a heavy standpoint with calves, the sorer they get, as opposed to lighter weight, higher rep. So it's just something that's been working, I noticed lately. So now we dropped it down to 3 plates. It's a little bit easier for me to get more reps with a full range of motion. Like you can see me pausing at the top there, which is nice. I don't know how many reps we did this for. It's just 3 days ago. I don't remember anything. But, well, I remember things, but not little details. So you get to the point where, you're coming up and hitting this pausing squeeze at the top. And then you just get that lactic acid builds up so bad that you just got to start cranking them out and keep it moving so that it doesn't, because it's just like freaking unbearable. So then we dropped it down for the third set, 2 reps. I can't speak, 2 plates, rather. And it was pretty good. I'm having a problem with it. I'm not like using my body weight to pull back. I'm just my calves are doing all the work. I mean, it's kind of a hard exercise to mess up. Unless you can mess it up. I've seen people mess it up. But if you just sit there and let your calves do all the work and you get a full range of motion, come all the way down, all the way up. And when I say come all the way down, don't go all the way down to where your Achilles is going to snap. You want to within just a good stretch down and then bang it up. So these were 3 pretty good sets, 2 really heavy sets. Cause 3 1/4, that's heavy for me, So we went pretty heavy, pretty much to failure on all the sets. And then after this, I just moved on next door here to this little piece of machinery here. And I think I only did 1 set here. It's just 1 plate on each side. It's not heavy. I was just really concentrating on going for a little bit higher rep. Now, I probably waited maybe 40 seconds, but probably 30 seconds between the last set and jumping over here. And I did that intentionally to give myself little rest to just keep the calves really burn and just really put a lot of strain on them. So I do keep my knees bent slightly. I would never lock my knees on this machine or a leg press. I have seen people's knees bend in the opposite direction, and I don't need that hassle. So I was doing a rest pause here, and I think I changed up my footing a little bit here. I either went pigeon-toed. I think I put my feet outward. Let's see. Pretty sure I went, toes out. Now, okay, I'm going to move them in closer because my legs are too far apart right here. And it just doesn't feel right. It feels extremely uncomfortable. So we went a little closer, still with the toes pointed out. These felt really good though. And hey, if your calves are sore the next 2 or 3 days after, that's probably a good indicator that you had a good calf workout. And that goes for any muscle group, by the way. So I am constantly sore. So my shoulders and traps are actually still sore. So we skipped the shrugs. I've been doing shrugs outdoors almost every shoulder workout. So I switched it up a little bit here, and I did do the traps, but we did upright row. And I grabbed the A handle or V handle, whatever you want to call it, and I grab it this way. This way I can come up. Number one, it feels really good compared to the Easy Bar, but it's also a lot easier. I know, like maybe a year and a half ago, Jeff showed me this to do it this way because my bicep tendonitis was flaring up so bad it was really limiting my workouts. Like I couldn't do it. It was really hard to work out and do any kind of pulling movements. And we were doing upright row, and I couldn't even do a 25 on each side on the bar. So he's like, "Here, come over here." He showed me this and to grab it like this. So it took just that slight hand change movement didn't bother the bicep tendonitis at all. So we went over here. Second set. Man, there's like hardly anybody in the gym yesterday. All right. Um, nice squeeze at the top. I like the form. Part of me feels like I'm standing just slightly too far away. Um, I mean, looking at it, I think it's fine. I don't think it's I'm doing anything wrong. But there's this little funny like crossbar that you can see coming that protrudes outward. It kind of keeps you from going too far in. So, but I think if that crossbar wasn't there, I may be like another inch, maybe 2 inches closer to the stack. So, yeah, not a bad set. And this was blowing my traps up. I mean, I got a trap pump that was nuts just from these. Did we do 3 or 4 sets? I think we did 3 sets here, but the traps felt great, and it was just I've been doing so many shrugs. I just had to switch it up. Yeah. Plus, it's really hot outside here in Central Florida, and that shrug machine is outside, and it's hard to breathe when this humidity out here when you're lifting outside. Good. Form's good. Shoulders are dropped. Um, I don't I don't see any problems with this movement whatsoever. And again, if anybody has any tips on how I can better it, by all means, please drop a comment. I love learning things uh, with lifting, bodybuilding, and fitness in general. Do a little drop set here. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. It is it's Sunday morning right now. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm gonna go and do legs today. But here we go. Yeah, looking good. And again, with these, it's all about just coming up and really squeezing the traps in the back, just squeezing them. Excellent trap exercise, and it hits the rear delts too, but it's mostly trap focused. So here I did something a little bit different. I don't know that I've ever done these before. I may have. I don't remember. But I did single arm uh, reverse fly for the rear delts, and it actually felt really good. I think it's just 30 pounds. It's not heavy, but if you notice, like, you know, the shoulders are dropped, my body is remaining in place. I'm not like, I'm not doing this shit here. It's just the arm that's moving, and I'm just using the rear delt. It's all rear delt like this. And when I come in, I'm not coming in so far as to take the tension off of the rear delt. I'm coming in like right about here, all the tension's still there, and then I'm coming right back out. So there's no like relaxed position during the set. So not bad. These felt better than I thought. The only reason I tried them was I was gonna do both hands like this, right in the middle of the stack, right in the middle of the rack, or the jungle gym, whatever the hell it's called. Uh, but I said, hey, I was like, you know what? Let me just try it this way. And I did a couple feeler reps. It felt really good. So it was like, let me just do this for rear delts today. I don't recall ever doing this for rear delts before. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a video floating around from a year ago. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I don't. I haven't done this before. But I like the form, man. It's just nice, nice rhythm, slow eccentric. Everything looks good. Shoulders are dropped. I'm not up here like this doing this. Everything looks pretty good. Body is mostly stationary, not wobbling all over the place, except for my head. But I'm not really worried about the head bobbling a little bit on this exercise. I think a little bit of head movement is okay on certain exercises, but if there's a pad that you're leaned up against, I would prefer to keep my head flush on the pad. Although that's not always the case. It's something I need to work on, especially with like incline press, shoulder press, different things like that. And so, um, but certain movements, I guess it's just like a case by case instance, right? Like sometimes I think it's okay and it doesn't really matter. But you got to be careful because I have pinched a nerve or strained the neck muscles doing certain exercises before, specifically overhead presses. So a little bit of a different angle. I got a buddy over there. I think doing shrugs in the back. I mean, I don't know who he is, but it's the only other person in the gym at the time. The thing I like about this gym, it doesn't get overly crowded. Back in LA, ooh, man, them gyms. It didn't matter which gym you went to, and there were just so many damn people in there. You go to a Planet Fitness in LA, you really almost can't even get a good workout unless you go at like 1 in the morning. And even at 1 in the morning, there's a ton of people in there. And I get the plates sticking together here. But out here in Central Florida, even if I go to Planet Fitness, which I very rarely do, I still have a membership. Uh, you can do anything you want. There's really not that many people there, but I live in a rural area of Florida, so it's not super populated. But I like the form. I mean, the form, like I'm kind of impressed with my form on these. And again, if anybody thinks differently, please drop a comment. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm far from perfect with this shit. Looking good. Shoulders down. All the tension on the rear delt. I'm liking this. I really enjoyed this workout. Actually, it was really, and it was actually simple because we're actually like halfway through the lift. There's only two more movements after this for front and side delts. Little drop settage here. Not too shabby. I think for this you definitely got to hold on to something. So I got to like hold on to the frame of the weight rack just for support. Without it, I mean, my body's going to be moving all over the place. So I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, rear delts are blown up right now. They are feeling very, very good. So we come over here. It's one of my favorite shoulder exercises right here. We went 2 plates. This was for some reason, these things have been really heavy lately. There was a time not that long ago, throw 3 plates on here, just crank them out. But I guess, a lot of it has to do with the diet, eating a lot less calories these days, dropping weight. By the way, I am 199.5, and I got the receipt to prove it right at the end of the video here. Partials are okay. I have no problem with partials. If that tension is on the muscle, I'm good. Though I do want to make sure that the partials are, limited to the last few reps, right? But I think they still count for sure. And we actually supersetted this, even though the camera stopped this first time. It doesn't on the next sets, but I immediately went over to the fly machine, which is right across the street from the overhead press. Got some good, looking at this, I felt like I was aligned perfectly. I almost feel like that seat needs to drop down a little bit. But maybe it's just the angle again. But it felt like I was positioned correctly on the machine, so I can't really complain too much about it. So now we're gonna go back over set number 2. I just kept it the same weight. I was gonna drop it a little bit, but I was like, you know what? Even if I get 6 reps, I don't care. I want to go a little bit heavy here. So the form is good. Now, if you notice, I'm touching my ear. It's my headphones because it usually when I'm sitting there and tapping my headphone, I'm searching for a song because the current song like literally just ended. That always happens like right when that set's about to start. So not bad. Butt planted on the seat, back up against the pad. Let's see how the head looks. Shoulders are dropped, just coming up and down. Okay, head is. Let's see if I lift it up. It looks pretty. Looks pretty flush, but a little bit of head movement. Okay. I don't think it's anything. I think a little bit of head movement. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I didn't count those reps there, but I think we got a respectable amount in there. I'm right back over here. There we go. I adjust my camera. Sometimes with the magnet, it kind of twists a little bit. Come back over here. I think it's the same weight. I think it's. I don't. All the numbers are stripped off of the plates. I have no idea what the weight is. I never do, but it's right around half stack. So not super light, but definitely not super heavy either. But supersetting them and doing these after a heavy pressing movement, if I did it the other way around, I might be able to crank out a little bit more reps. And then we're on to the third and final set of the shoulder workout. So that was 3 sets of rear delts, 3 sets of side, 3 sets of front. Which I'm okay with. 9 sets for shoulders. Well, technically 12 because we did traps too. And I'm okay with that. That's the thing. Shoulders, they're a smaller muscle group, but there's different components, right? You got to hit the rear delt. I mean, you can't just do 1 set of rear delts. Like that's not going to fly in my book. So I think 3 or 4 on the rear, 3 or 4 on the side, 3 or 4 on the front. But a lot of times, like the overhead presses, I'm hitting the side and the front at the same time. So, technically I could say my side delts got 6 sets. Excuse me, 6 sets today. Or not today, Thursday. So we did a little rest pause here. And just went in for the kill. Couple more reps, maybe 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Come on, Frank. 3.5. Not bad. It worked because my shoulders are sore. They're still sore. They were really sore yesterday. And right back over to the fly movement. Sorry about the angle. I guess it's okay. Shoulders are down. A lot of this with the head. I don't know if it's good or bad on this. I probably want to keep it a little bit more stationary. I mean, it's really kind of doing this. I'm not a big fan of that, but I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Sue me. Hey. Definitely not perfect, but I do love going to the gym, and I love these workouts, man. They are just one of my most favorite things to do. And I can say that if my wife was in the room with me, I would say this is my second favorite thing to do. Just kidding. So we did a little rest pause here. Good. These got real heavy real quick, and I wasn't really able to do full range up, but that's all right. So now we're going to go over the scale here. So we have a scale. Now, before I jumped on this, I learned this before. You can never trust it. You got to test it first. So I got a 15-pound weight on here, and the 15-pound weight is weighing in at almost 24 pounds. So there's a 9-pound variance with this scale over. So I jumped on it. And, before I recorded this, I jumped on it and I was like, dude, there's no way I'm 209, right? Because that's what it was registering as. Or I think it was registering 209, but let's see. We're even that little bevel out there. So this is registering me at, yeah, about 208 and a half, which with the 9 cent, 9 pound variance would be 199.5. Yeah. So we are officially 199.5. We are no longer a member of the 200 club, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. That was expected with, but the good thing is, you see, I'm consistently dropping weight. Okay. So the diet is obviously working. Obviously, 21, 2,200. Well, I think I started with 2,200, but I've been doing 2,100 calories. Probably the last 3 out of the 4 weeks. I'm probably going to drop it down. Let's see. Today's technically day 32 or 33 or 34. I don't even remember. I got to count the videos. Um, uh, I think Wednesday was the 30, but whatever. But I'm thinking, probably in the next couple of days, we'll drop it from 2,100, maybe down to 1,800, and really get rid of a lot more of the carbs. And also, a lot of the ground beef that I've been eating, I have been putting not a half a pound, but a half a strip of diced up butcher shop bacon. But that adds a lot of fat, right? That I have to factor into my macros. So I'm thinking of eliminating that half a strip of bacon, which has a lot of fat, but makes it taste really good. So maybe eliminate that. Cut down on the carbs, which is mostly potatoes. Um, every once in a while, I think like maybe once a week, I have a very small amount of pasta. It's not regular pasta, it's chickpea pasta. So a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but like I would say on average, maybe once a week, I'll add a little bit of pasta, and it's usually like a very small amount, like um, like if I grab it with the scooper thing that has the claws, it's usually just one thing of it. I can probably eat the pasta in probably, I would say, yeah. I mean, it's like 2 ounces of pie. It's not a lot whatsoever, but it is carbs. So probably going to eliminate that. I think any cheat meals. So I've had in the last, I think we're at 33 days. The last 33 days, I've had 2 cheat meals. One was about a week and a half ago, which was I ate 2 slices of pizza, and they were just plain pizza. I did well. I always do this, but I always put a napkin over the top of it and suck up all the grease because I just don't like all that grease, even if I'm on a bulk. But just 2 pieces of plain pizza. Actually, I lied. I think it had mushrooms on it, if I remember correctly. But what's that, right? It's pretty much a plain piece of pizza. So 2 slices of that, and that was just one meal. And then last night, my wife was going to go to this burger place called Steak and Shake, which makes really good burgers. They cook them in beef tallow, right? I really like it. They're from what I understand, they're only here in Florida, but I haven't seen them in any other states. But she was gonna pick up a double burger with just pickles. So absolutely nothing on the burger, no cheese, no nothing, just pickles. And I was going to add that into my macros, and just have it as a cheat meal, mainly because of the bun, and the burgers are high in fat too, right? More so than the burgers I would make here from the butcher shop ground beef. But the Steak and Shake that she went to was closed, or it closed down permanently. So she didn't want to drive to another one. So she went to Wawa, and I did get a pulled pork sandwich. So it was really good. And I did eat it after an arm workout, which was kind of cool. So, um, but those are the only two cheat meals, right? So maybe, the next 30 days of this cut, and that's the thing about cheat meals, right? Like, if you have like a cheat day is one thing, because on a cheat day, people are like going nuts, eating whatever they want. That will hurt your progress. All right. If you do one cheat meal a week, that on a cut, that's way too much in my book. A cheat meal, however, I don't think is a huge deal. Now, mind you, I'm not jumping on a stage here. I'm not trying to get show ready. I just want to get as lean as humanly possible, right? For my age. So having two pieces of pizza one time in a 30-day period, having one pulled pork sandwich in a 30-day period of time, two cheat meals out of like 100 and something meals. Come on, man. I think you can do the math on that. I don't think that's a progress killer. I don't think it helps the progress, but I certainly don't think that it puts me in the negative in any kind of way. Especially if keep in mind, even the pizza that I had, that's worked into the macros. So that's worked into the 2,100 calories. So it's not like I'm eating my normal 2,100 calories and then adding two 400 calorie slices of pizza on top of it, or I think they're 350, something like that. It's a big difference there. But anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, it is Sunday morning. I'm going to do the arm workout video. I'll post that up a little later today. But we do have a Phillies game coming on in a little while. And they did win yesterday. So, and the Eagles won on Friday, which was nice. They won by the hair of their chinny chin chin. But I think we're going to go hit an arm workout right now. I'm sorry, a leg workout right now. And then when I come back, I'll post up that arm workout video from yesterday, which was really good. Arms are feeling pretty good right now. So if you haven't been to the gym yet, you got the whole day ahead of you to go to the gym. So make sure you find it within yourself to get your ass to the gym. And I will see you guys a little later for the arm workout commentary. And I'll let you know how the leg workout goes. Have a great Sunday, everybody.